Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma walhamdulillahi ala kulli hal. So here we are with our session number 45, and we started learning Filul Amr in our last session. And inshallah, we will go back and learn more about it today, inshallah. But before we do that, we'll start our review for session number 45. So I will skip the first question, but I will go to my second question, which is, tell me the three ways to make Mudare Majzoom. How can you see Mudare Majzoom? What are the three ways Mudare can be made Majzoom? Or what are the three signs? You can tell me the three signs of Mudare Majzoom. So yes, put Sakoon on the last word, a letter, right? On the last letter. Put Sakoon on the last letter. When do we do that? Do you remember? When do we put Sakoon on the last letter? It happens when our Mudare is Sahihul Akhir, which means it is not Waw, Alif, or Ya. Makes sense, right? When it is Sahihul Akhir, like Ra or Zal, the last letter is not a weak letter, then what we do is we put a Sakoon on top of it. Is this something clear to everyone? I hope this is not something very French for anyone in the class. Sahih means that, when Mudare is Sahihul Akhir, it means that it is ending with a word that is not Alif, Waw, or Ya. Okay. What is another way? I'm going to now go back to this. Okay. So the other way you told me is Hazfun Noon. Azra is saying that we can make Mudare Majzoom, which I totally agree with. Azra and all of my sisters, tell me when you can drop noon, in which af'al we can do that. What are those af'al called, which we can make Majzoom very easily by dropping noon? Af'alul Khamsa. Very well done. Af'alul Khamsa, in case of Af'alul Khamsa, the way to make Mudare Majzoom is you just omit your noon. Okay. So this word was originally tadkhuluna. I made it Majzoom by removing noon. Okay. Now, the third way you are telling me is you remove the weak letter. Aisha answered in the beginning of the session that either we can put Sakoon, Rana's also Sakoon, and then the third and reply was, Sister Rubin said that, we can drop noon, which happens in case of Al-Af'alul Khamsa, and then Sister Aisha said that, remove the weak letter. So when do we remove the weak letter? When can we make Mudare Majzoom by omission of a weak letter? When my last letter, now it is going to be when my fail is Mu'attalul Akhir. Mu'attal means it has harufe illa at the end. Okay, when my Mudare is ending with alif, you can just simply say Mu'attalul Akhir. If it sounds too difficult to say or understand, just say when my Mudare ends with a letter which is alif, waw, or ya. My way of making it majzoom is I just omit the last letter. I will just do hasfu harfil akhir. Just like here, you can see it was originally tarda with 2 count mad, but I'm just going to now say it with 1 count because alif was removed. Yahdi was changed to yahdi. So what did I do? So this was originally Yahdi, like this. Yahdi. So I changed this to this. Tarda, alif was removed, and Yad'u was changed to Yad'u. Right? We removed our weak letters and made them majzoom. So everyone is now well versed with this. Everyone knows the 3 ways to make Mudare Majzoom. I hope no one should have any confusion, I think, after this, inshallah. Okay, so let's continue then. So the next question is will mudare with pronouns, with inbuilt pronouns, it should be inbuilt pronouns, hunna and antunna, undergo any change when mudare is marfu, majzoom, or mansoob? Yes or no? The mudare ending with noonun niswa, actually this was, right? The noonun niswa, they will not undergo any change. Absolutely correct answer, Azra. Very well done. They do not change their form. They are mabni. They are non-flexible. They remain the same in all three forms. Their majzoom form, marfu forms, or mansoob form looks in their all these three forms, they look the same. Their ending does not undergo any change. Can they drop their noon? Very stubborn. Yes. Can they drop their noon? Can these mudare drop their noon? No. Why? Explain. Because yes, I used to conduct a class where people used to say we make a lot of guesses and our guesses are sometimes right. So I want to make sure that this class is not running on guesses. They are not just making assumptions and stuff like that. So I want to, I want to know if they have understood the concept well. Why their noon cannot be dropped? Let me show you if I have any, anything here. So many windows open. Okay. Why are they non-flexible? This is the right answer. I am so proud of you, Sister Rubin, because their noon is the pronoun. You can never get rid of pronoun because fail is fail because it has not only an action, but it also has a pronoun in it. It is not only help, but it also, nasara does not have a meaning of help, but also has a pronoun. It is translated as he helped. Yes, in case of nasara, you don't see a pronoun. It is mustatir, but we know the pronoun is there. Okay. Yes, you cannot, because every fail has a pronoun. In Arabic, every fail has a pronoun. So do not forget, it's not like English, where you have to have a pronoun in addition to an action word. Verb is not the same. Remember, when I started teaching you fail, I told you it is very different from verb of English language, because in verb you do not have a pronoun. Ate, who ate, you don't know. You have to use a pronoun. But when I say akala, I know it means he ate. When I say akaltu, it means I ate. When I say akalti, so it means you feminine ate. So make sense or no? And I cannot remove these tasks from akaltu or akalti or akaltuma or akaltum. Okay, I cannot remove them because those are the pronouns. They are part of the word structure. They cannot be removed, and that's what make this word a fail, because it does not only have an action now, but it also has a pronoun, right? The complete definition of a fail is it is the word that has an action, tense, and also a pronoun. A complete fail or fail tam has to have all that. Make sense or no? I hope this one, you don't just say, oh no, non-flexible in this, but because noon is a pronoun. If Sister Rubin and Sister Aisha, this is what is the most accurate answer, that you have understood this concept well. Now I know that, this concept is clear. Okay. So who remembers the haruf that make mudare mansoob? An, lan, mansoob, li kai, li and kai as well. Then you don't have to type it again. Hatta, fa, and then remember in your next slide you also have two more, wow and au, wow and au. This class those who are doing it, this business for some time, who have been learning these terms for some time, please note and please make a note of those two in your notes as well. Sister um, what's her name, Sister Zora, was kind enough to share that verse with you all, where she found that aw was being used as a haruf nasaba in Quran itself. When I find those examples, that really excites me. So, do not forget that, okay? So wow is there and aw is there, and we have seen examples of wow and aw. You don't, you may not be tested on that, but you should know the complete list now, since we have gone over it and you have them in their notes. If you are someone who's learning it for the first time, if you stop at fa, that is fine too, okay? And remember, we also did that how some of them have their own action and some of them have hidden an after them. And which are those who are said to have hidden an after them? So an works by itself, lan by itself, kai by itself. Then comes your li, it is said to have hidden an after it. Hatta, it is said to have hidden an after it. Fa, it is said to have hidden an after it. Wow, it is said to have hidden an after it. And so is au. Okay, so that list is in your worksheet. Please make a note of that, inshallah. Okay. It is not visible, you don't see it, but it is said that they have hidden an after them that exerts its action on the fail and is responsible for making it mansoob. Okay, inshallah. So do you remember, I just need one ism from each one of you that can make mudare majzoom. Remember, so in is your harf, right? It is a haruf jazima. In is the haruf jazima that makes mudare majzoom. But remember, we learned some isms as well that can make mudare majzoom. Ma, very well done. One more, a couple of more, and then I'm not going to bother you. Man is good. Man, very well. Mahma, very well done. Very well done. So, ma, man, mahma, aina ma, haisuma, kaifama, aina, anna. So all these, ayana, those guys, they are asma. Yes, mata as well. And, they are asma that can make your mudare majzoom. And all these asma that we just mentioned, they are very powerful. Why? Why I'm saying so? How are they very powerful? Along with the harf in. If you remember that slide in our last sessions, I think it was session number 42 or so. They are very powerful because they can make two mudare majzoom, right? They can affect two af'al by themselves. They are very, very strong. They can do it all by themselves. Oh, alhamdulillah, Allah has given them the power. Okay, so this tool has the same meaning as ma nafiya according to traditional Arabic. And some sources consider it stronger than ma nafiya. This was something that we did in our last session. No, it is not la. No. The word came with illa, but it was not illa. Illa just comes with this word. In. Sister Rubin, very right answer. It is in, right? So Zarina, lan is does not have the same connotation as ma nafiya. No, it does not. Lan is a strong negation for future, but it does not refute. Okay, keep that in mind. It is a strong form of negation. It is a very, very strong negation, but it is different from ma nafiya. But in nafiya is very similar to ma nafiya according to traditional Arab. If you ask any Arab, he will say that it has the same connotation for the most part, but some consider it stronger than ma nafiya. And some sources means when you will look at your book bayina, it will say that it is stronger than ma nafiya. Yes, if in is followed by illa, you are just going to translate it as not. You are not going to, you are just use it as a negation particle. You are not going to use it as a condition particle, because when it acts like a condition particle, what does it do to mudare? It makes it in. That is, it makes it majzoom. Very well done, Ranas. It will make it majzoom, and it has an action. And I called in Nafia as غير عاملة, right? When I shared my slides with you, I think I should have written, yeah, I have written it here, in Nafia غير عاملة, because mudare after it is not majzoom. In does not affect mudare. It remains the same. It remains in its original form that I have given you all the evidences here, 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 here. It is marfu bidamma to zahira. It is marfu bi thubutin noon. The mudare is marfu bi thubutin noon after in. So this in is not going to be translated as if. It is going to be translated as not. Make sense? When we are doing word-to-word translation, you will just write not underneath it. Okay? Make sense? Type 1 if it does. Okay, then I will continue with my rest of the questions. I think I just had that many. Okay. Okay, so now I left this first question. So what were the 3 ways, my dear sisters, we learned by which we can command someone in Arabic? 3 most common ways of commanding. That is used for, you will use it for for not doing something. Remember, if you go back to your slide, one is felul amr, which is most commonly used, right? La nahiya is when to not do something, right? Do not do something. That is for not doing something, right? The most common is you can use felul amr, or you can use lamul amr. Very well done. So what will be the condition of your mudare after lamul amr? Who remembers? Because lamul amr was one of the harufe. Where did we read it? Where did we learn it? Li, lam, lamma, la, jazima. So if it was from jazima, so what will happen to mudare after it? Mudare will be majzoom. And you just learned the 3 ways how you will see your mudare in majzoom status. I do not want to repeat it. Will that be okay? We just have seen them being in which form you will see if your mudare is majzoom based on different types of mudare. Kindly, if you have not seen, I have shared a short lecture series with you, and I did not mean to, but I thought that it will be helpful since we are going to learn our command, and I wanted everyone to be well versed with that. So if you have not already had a chance to look at it, it is just 2 minutes 34 seconds. Please go over it. It is for your help. So it was for your benefit. So how are you going? What is your expectation? What your expectation should be? We have just gone over the whole thing during the initial part of our session, but just so that if there is any confusion, you can always go back. Okay, so the 2 ways that are commonly going by which you can give command in Arabic is either you use lamul amr, number 2 is felul amr, number 3 is if you can sometimes use an idea word, which is a masdar, which is an ism, a verbal noun. It is called verbal noun in English. You can use that as a command, and I will show you how it works. But before I show you that how it works, I want you to simply understand how mudare, how we make, what it takes to make a command. Okay, how do you make a command in Arabic? Okay, that is more important for this session at this point. Okay, so let me ask, my first question is, which form of mudare you should use to form an amr? Should we use first person, second person, or third person to make an amr? The second person, right? Anta, antuma, antum, Anti, antuma, antunna, because I'm going to tell you to do something, right? I'm mostly going to ask you to do something. So by for that purpose, I'm not going to command myself. Oh, eat sama, this looks foolish. People will start, thinking, she's losing it now. So um, keep that in mind, that you command someone in front of you, and you cannot say, I cannot sitting in my home, and so who's Sister Zora is not, for instance, and she was I was told that she won't be attending today, so I cannot say, Sister Zora, read this. I cannot say her. She's not there. How can I command her? I can ask Azra, who's right there during the session as a second person. I can say, Azra, why don't you make a note of this? Right? Does it make sense? Sometimes we do command in third person. We do command in third person, like they should not take kafirin as a friend. And you will see that happening in Quran as well, several times. Okay, but that's another thing. And you do use lamul amr for that purpose, that they should do this, they should do that. But for the most part, you ask someone to do something when they are right in front of you. So that is why Failul Amr in particular is made by using this second person, okay? Second person Mudare, okay? And we use the second person Mudare. So what did we learn? What do we do to Fail Mudare? You know, take Fail Mudare, and now since you are making an Amr, what should you do next? I think you should do that. You should, what should you do, my dear sisters? What do you understand? You should remove alamatul mudari, right? When you have failul, you have taken your mudare, the next step should be, you should get rid, you should actually either arrangement is fine, but you should, first of all, it should not be mudare anymore, right? Because this was the sign of mudare. Yes, we just briefly did that. So that is why I wanted to go over it in detail, so everyone is well versed. Okay, so what did I do then? I removed, because I don't want it mudare. Now I'm trying to make failul amr, right? So do I need my ta or anymore? What do you think, my dear sisters? Because this ta is just the sign of mudare. It has nothing to do with my pronoun, right? In this case, where is the pronoun Aisha? What do you think? Aisha and Ranaz, what do you think? In case of Tansuru, it is hidden. Very well done. It is Ad-Damir Al-Mustatir. Okay, my dear sisters, please remember, in case of Tansuru, my pronoun is hidden. If there is no rocket science in it, I am, this ta is just helping me. Yes, it can be hiya or anta, but this is not the sign of, this is not my pronoun. Okay, so first of all, get rid of it. Okay, and then as we discussed, you will make mudare majzoom. So you can see here, you made it majzoom. Now, can you pronounce a word with a sukoon in Arabic? Can a word start with a sukoon in Arabic? Have you ever learned any word in Arabic, in Quran, that started with sukoon? No, there is not a single word that can start with Arabic. So we will add a hamza, and I love it when you said that we will add hamza. Why? What? Why am I saying so? Very well done, my dear sisters. And please make sure in your Bayina book, when you start teaching, Sister Aisha was planning to do that. So Sister Aisha is, or whosoever is doing it, whosoever is teaching other students, please, you cannot use a term helper alif, because alif, what is the problem with alif? Alif can ever have visible haraka? Can alif ever have visible haraka? It can never have a visible haraka. There's a problem there. Okay, so we have to use a term hamza, and this is called hamzatul wasl. It is called hamzatul wasl, and it usually has a chopped sod on top of it. In Usmani Musaf, you will see a chopped sod written on top of it. Okay. And based on what is the haraka of the second letter, you will give your hamza the same haraka. If your haraka is dhamma, it will get dhamma. If the haraka on the second letter is fatha or kasra, it is going to fatha or kasra. In both those cases, it is going to get kasra. Visible haraka means, can you see a dhamma here? You can see that, right? Let me show you one thing. You can see it here. Let me take you to some of my notes that I have shared with you in the past. Let me see which one is this one. Okay. No, okay. Did you remember implied fatha? Remember? Once upon a time we did it. That we are saying that this tarda has an implied fatha. It does have a fatha. Imagined. But it cannot have a visible fatha. It will never take a visible fatha. So this is what I'm saying. It can have an implied fatha, the kasra sometimes, based on what kind of word it is, but it can never have a visible fatha, the kasra. So if you can see a dhamma, if I can put a dhamma here, I can put a dhamma here, unsur, then can it be alif? Can I call it alif? No, I cannot. And similarly, in this session, we also learned, if I'm not mistaken, I think my other slide should be here, that, a dhammatul muqaddara as well, like yamshi, ya was supposed to have an imagined dhamma here, but it cannot, but focus more on alif, because alif is something in discussion. So alif cannot have any haraka. It is daiman sakoon, like, it will never ever take any haraka. You will never see a visible haraka on it. It can have, but here we did say that alif has a dhammatul muqaddara. Remember that it does have a dhammatul muqaddara. We call it like, marfu, mudare marfu bidhammatil muqaddara alil harf al akhir alif. Okay. It is translated in English as, this is mudare, that is marfu by dhamma, that is implied, not visible. Clear or no? So sometimes the haraka can be not visible, so it can be implied. So for that purpose, you should know. Okay, so now this one, I have made it have a dhamma, and you will, and sometimes you will see in Quran it may be having with sod on top of it, and it may have sometimes some of the words you will see with fatha dhamma kasra, because but sometimes the haraka is not read when it is in wasl. But in case of if you are starting from with that word with that hamza, you are going to read it either with dhamma or kasra. Okay, because that will be the haraka on your hamzatul wasl in case of af'al. Okay, in case of af'al, you either give them dhamma or kasra, and it depends on which haraka is on the second letter. If it is dhamma, it will get dhamma. If it is fatha or kasra, it is only going to get kasra. It's not going to get fatha. Okay, there is only one case when your amr will start with fatha, and we will learn it. So for now, remembered your hamzatul wasl of amr. Hamzatul wasl is going to get either dhamma or kasra. What will it get? Either dhamma or kasra. Is it clear to everyone? If I asked you to put anything, you are going to do either dhamma or kasra. Okay. Okay, I will make you practice just in few minutes. Okay, so this was that, and then we basically did in the second person. So what about in case of antuma, antum, anti, antuma again, and antunna? I made it clear for you all. So again, when you see your mudare, that is dual and a second person, so it is going to be tansurani. So first step should be, what should I do? First of all, I should make it because I'm now starting to make an amr. the first thing I should do is I should remove the sign of mudare, because I don't need it anymore, because now the word, my word is not going to remain mudare anymore. I am going to make a fi'lul amr. Does it make sense? So why should I keep my alamatul mudare there? This word no more now needs alamatul mudare. So I will remove this alamatul mudare. The next step is I'm going to just make it majzoom. And the third step is, since this word cannot be pronounced because it is now beginning with sakoon, I will add a helper alif, and the second letter haraka will help me determine if I should put dhamma or kasra. Everyone with me so far? Okay. So I will test you in the end, inshallah. So antum tansuruna, again, remove sign of mudare. The word is like this. Make it majzoom, drop noon, because now these two were from af'alul khamsa. They are made majzoom bi hasfin noon, by removing noon, by omission of noon, by removal of noon. So here again I will remove noon after removing sign of mudare, and then I will just add a helper alif. In case of tansurina, it was also, if you remember, because it has this noon here, and ya is yaul mukhataba. So after ya, after my pronoun, I see a noon. So this is my afalul khamsa. For afalul khamsa, I have to have three pronouns: aliful isnain, wawul jama'a, yaul mukhataba. And here again, I'm going to remove alamatul mudare. After that, I'm going to make it majzoom by hasbin noon, and at the end, I will add helper hamza. Okay, not alif. Okay, so again, now when we come to antunna, what do you see here? Mudare is ending with a pronoun, right? Tansurna is a pronoun. So first step is you remove your sign of mudare. You did it. Can you remove noon? No, it is not a noon of status. So it cannot just be removed or snatched away or omitted or dropped. So I will keep it there. And then I will just add Hamzatul Wasl. And again, by looking at the haraka of the second letter, I'm going to put a dhamma on Hamzatul Wasl. Everyone with me so far? No answers? Okay. In case of when I find my Amr Unsura, what helps you translate it as you two guys or you two girls help? Where is I'm getting that this is now I'm commanding two people. Aliful Isnain. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. In case of unsuru, how do I know that this is the command being given to bunch of men? Wow, very well done. So your pronoun is there. It remains there. Every fail has a pronoun. When I started teaching you this fail business, I told you about it. So it may be visible, baris, or it may be mustatir, which happened in case of tansur. So all of you can see that. In case of unsuri, where is my pronoun? Yaul Mukhataba was my pronoun. Very well done, my dear sisters. In case of unsurna, where is my pronoun? Why? I know that this is the command being given to you females. Nunu Niswa, right? Nunu Niswa is the perfect answer for that. I'm very pleased with your replies. Barakallahu fikum. Everyone with me so far? Okay. Okay, so we'll look at these and some other ways as well. So let's just see. So when we started doing Filul Amr in our last session, I taught you that there were basic three main ways, of commanding. You will see in Quran, you will come across in Quran very frequently that either you will see commanding being done with use of Lamul Amr. Lamul Amr gets which? What happens to Lamul Amr if it is preceded by harf atf? Summa, waw, or fa? What happens to it? Lamul Amr gets sakoon, right? It gets sakoon. Very well done. Very well done, Sister Rubin. that it will get sukoon if it is preceded by fa, waw, or summa. Okay, so here you can see that there's no doubt about it that this is lamul amr. Your mudare was anyways majzoom bisakoon. You can see swad wa mim are the root letters, and you are seeing a sukoon on this mim, right? So it is majzoom bisakoon alal harfil akhir, right? Alal harfil akhir, because this letter is sahi. It's not waw or ya or alif, right? So this got sakoon. And excuse my sakoons here. I have been telling you it should be like rasul kha, okay? But it's just because of the I don't know how to put that on. So at this point, so whosoever sights the moon, then he should let him fast it. Okay, let him fast it. So there's a very interesting balagha concept that is seen in this verse, and inshallah one day if we get to that point, we will learn it together. But whosoever is present in this month, then he should, or whosoever cites the new moon, because shahar can be used for the month and shahar can be used for the new moon as well, which is a crescent, can also be called as shahar. So then he should fast it. That it means that he should fast the complete month. Okay, let him fast the complete month, or then he should fast for 30 days or the complete month. Okay, so you can see then that we are here using lamul amr for commanding. Okay, again in this verse there is another way of commanding that you can see. It is being seen by, let me just make it large. So it is here masdar or an idea word is being used to command. Okay, so at-talaqu marratani, talaq is divorce is twice. Okay, so after that fa imsakun, then either keep her. Does it imsak not giving you a meaning of a command? Is it not giving you a connotation that somebody is being asked to do something, that either you keep her or you release her? Do you find that connotation here in this verse, or there is any confusion? This translation here helps you understand that now men are being commanded that the divorce is twice. After that, what happens is that either you release the woman, imsakun bimarufin, you release her in a well recognized manner, in a good way, sorry, you keep her in a good way, or tasrihun, or you release her with very good way as well. Okay, fa here, don't worry about fa for now. Okay, do you have any question about fa? Yes, Sister Roxana? Are we good? My dear sisters, is it making sense or it's too hard? No, fa is not amr. No, it's not amr. It is not amr. Yes, I will repeat it. So here, imsak means to, literally the word means to keep, to withhold, to keep someone. Okay, to keep someone to yourself. Okay, imsak means to stop someone, to hold someone. Okay, now, and it to hold, to stop, does it have any amr in it? But it is being used as a word where it is giving you a connotation of an amr. It is not an amr. The word by structure is not fe'lul amr, because your fe'lul amr is majzoom at the end. At the end, you will see it is, either with waw or alif or sakoon. It does not have a structure of a fe'lul amr. If you can see, it is a ism with tanween. So now when we use this word imsak, which is a which is a masdar, or which means to hold to yourself or to keep someone. Now we are going to when we use it in a manner like here, we can see it is being used as a word that has a connotation of a command. Why it is done so, I will explain it in a minute. Let me see what are the other question. Can you also repeat the three words that precede lamul amr? Oh, summa, fa, and wow. Hmm? Wow, summa, fa. And we have that you have that in your slides as well. If you go back, inshallah, you will find them. So if lamul amr is preceded by wow, fa, and summa, it's going to get sukoon. It's always going to get sukoon. That there is no other option for it. It drops its kasra and it gets sukoon. Yes, masdar is an idea word that has an action that is a verbal noun is in English for that. Okay, so mostly grammarians usually translate it as verbal nouns who write books in English. Okay, so yes, it will say an action, but it has no tense in it. It has no tense. So if I give you a word like eating, eating is good for you. So eating, what kind of a word is eating? It has an action, right? Or fasting is good for health. Fasting is what? An action word. But does it have a time? Does it have a tense attached to it? It has an action word. So don't even, don't call it verb, okay? Don't call it verb because verb always has a tense to it, right? Tense is there in English verb. You can say fast, fasted, or but when you say fasting is good for health, is fasting telling you a timing of something? Is that action word giving you a time? No, it does not have a time connotation. It does not have any tense to it. So that kind of a word is what a masdar is. It's a verbal noun with an action in it, but no tense. Okay. So to stop or stopping with in a good manner, holding with a good manner. Stopping is an action word, but for how long, or you stopped them or you did not stop them, it does not have any time to it, right? And another thing is that in case of Arabic, these masadir are free of what? When I say imsakun, then either keep her. Do you see any you written there? You keep them. Do you see any pronoun there? No, right? So what is your fail amr? How is your fail amr different from this that you are just doing? In your fail amr, you always had a pronoun, whether hidden or visible, or visible, 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 visible. But your master had no pronoun. So it is as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that regardless of whosoever is listening, it is mandatory for them to follow this command. Okay? It is mandatory for them to follow that. You either, you make up your mind now. You cannot just flip flop. Okay? There was a practice very common among Arabs. They would, do this, that, they will divorce their wives for 1,000 times and then they will take them back, and so that they don't go anywhere. So just about the period is going to finish, when they were supposed, they would take them back. They would take them back. They would keep on doing that. So then the worst came, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we think that, um, we personally, people usually think that, women are very deprived, but in Islam gave them the real respect. The real izzah was given to women and to children and to orphans and to elderly. Every weak member of society got its real, whatever their share should have been, it was given to them. Miskeen, everyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a Rahim, And each and every command of him reminds us of that. So, you cannot just keep doing this to women. Let them go or hold them with maruf manner. And maruf is so deep here. So but that's for another day, because we are in grammar class. So just keep that in mind. So imsakun, when the doer is not been mentioned, that means that it applies to each and every member of society. Okay, whosoever hears it, it is applicable to generations and generations of Muslims, that you divorce twice, and after that either you hold them or you just release them. Okay. Another example was here when qisas became mandatory upon Muslims. So then, this was a part of the same verse. فَمَنْ أُفِيَ لَهُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ. So whoever was forgiven by his brother, shay'un, anything, فَاتِّبَاعٌ. Ittiba'un is the word here. Then there should be a suitable follow-up, bil ma'ruf, suitable, in a good manner, in a suitable manner. Wa ada'un ilayhi, or and payment to him, bi ihsanin, with good conduct. So ittiba'un, when you are giving the so somebody killed someone, so either, and then he was forgiven. So anything of it, then what are the options? You are going to follow everything in a very suitable manner, and you adaun, and you have payment to him. So sometimes what happens is, this one is especially something to focus on. Adaun is again a masdar, where people are being told, the connotation that you have to understand is that you give, you pay to him in a good conduct, with a good conduct. So adaun means, do you see a doer here who has to give? Anyone sees a doer there? Yes, it's going to be like an ism. It's going to be like an ism, yeah. Like an ism should be either with al or tanween. Yeah. And yes, sometimes you may not, sometimes it may be non-flexible or something like that too. Okay. So focus here, you don't see any doer. So sometimes what happens? The person who killed someone might be very poor, and he is not able to pay the qisas. So can it be paid by his guardians? Can it be paid by community? Yes. Yes, it can happen. So for those instances where the person who was at fault is not capable of paying to the family of the one being murdered, anyone can pay. So that is why it is said that it could be possible that the masdar is being used, that you have to give the payment with a good conduct. Anyone can do it. Okay, the family or the brother of the one who killed can help out, or the friends can collect money and help out the person who mistakenly killed someone, and can give the blood money to the family of the one who was murdered. Is it making sense, my dear sisters? I hope it is. Yeah. So if there is any confusion, please go back. Right. So right now, just see, we are in time 12:49. So you can go, you can go to 45 minute, and and then you can listen that why something is being done here. Okay. Yes, it is little tricky, and with practice people learn. It is not going to be in a day thing, I will be honest, but inshallah, it will be easy. Okay. So inshallah, Allah will make everything easy. And the fourth, and a very fourth way, I just wanted to bring it to your attention as well, and for your notes as well. You must have received the notes as well of this one as well. This slide was given to you in your last session. That this is yet another way of commanding, where we use an ismu fail. It is, this term is ismu fail, to command something. For example, you have heard hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, right? When the azan is being called. So this word hayya is basically an ism, and it is being used. So come to the salah. Okay. So hayya, is an ismu fail. It is called an ismu fail, that is used to call people to come for salah. Okay. And then there is a word very commonly seen in Quran, halumma. Halumma. It is, you must have seen it in Surah Al-Ahzab. And then Ameen. Every time after Fatiha, we say Ameen, right? Ameen in actuality means astajib, because Surah Al-Fatiha is what? It's a dua, right? Surah Al-Fatiha is a dua. So when we say Ameen, do you know what it means? It means istajib. Istajib is the command form, or that means please accept or please respond to my dua, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is this clear or no? This one is just so that you know that there are sometimes words that are ism, but they have a term for them. They are called ismu fail. Okay, ismu failul amr, and they are used in Quran. You will see them in Quran. Halumma is, I think it has come a couple of times at least, and they are, used in a command with a, it's not just in connotation now here. It is actually an ismu fail. It is command. It is command basically. Okay, because previously when I taught you about masdar, I told you it has a connotation of a command there. You don't translate it as a command. Here you can see halumma. How is it translated? Come here towards us. Come here. Can I put an exclamation mark after it? Can I put an exclamation mark here? I can, right? Come here. I'm asking someone to do something. I'm commanding them. So that is what halumma means. So it is going to be called ismu fail. But masdar is going to be just masdar. You are not going to call it that it is failul amr. You will say it has a connotation of failul amr. It has the same connotation. It is carrying here connotation of amr. Okay. I hope this is clear. My dear sisters, type 1 if it is, because I have to take you to practice something, inshallah. Okay, and inshallah, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in your group, and inshallah, I will address them, inshallah. So here, Surah Al-Baqarah, one of the most beautiful surahs of Quran, so called the pinnacle of Quran. So here I want you to see something. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Inna lazina kafaru. What do you think about kafaru? Zoom? Okay, very. Okay, zoom it. I don't know how to make it bigger. I'm sorry. Sorry, my dear sister, I am not able to currently make it enlarged for you. I as much as I want to do it, I am not, able to do that. So kafaru is your fail madi. Why are we calling that there is home here? What tells you there is home? Very well done. Here, there's a visible pronoun here. Wow, right? It's a visible pronoun. Okay. Inna lazina kafaru. Indeed, those who they disbelieved. Sawaun alayhim a anzartahum. What do you think about anzarta? There are two words. Very well done. Aisha, now tell me. Anzarta. There is another, no. It anzartahum. Anzarta. Look at the end of the word. Look at the end of the word and the beginning of the word. It is anzarta. Anzarta. When you have this ta, When you have this ta, it is not nasb. We are looking at a word that is ending with ta fatha. So what is the pronoun? Now see what is the pronoun. It is anta, anzarta. Okay, anta, anzarta. So now it is madi, right? Because the ta'ul file is only seen in madi. You don't see ta'ul file in mudari, right? Mudari only has 4 pronouns: waw, alif, ya, and nunun niswa. Whereas madi has ta'ul file, which we can see. So because it has a fatha, it is carrying a fatha. So I know it is anta, anzarta. So it is fi'l madi. Tunzirhum. What do you think? Tunzir. I will tell you what it is. 1 second. Mudare majzoom bilam. Right? Mudare majzoom bilam means this mudare is majzoom because of lam being here. Tunzirhum. What is the pronoun here? Tunzir. Can you see the pronoun first of all? If there is a pronoun, it is going to always be after your ra, right? So when you don't see your pronoun, so it is the adamir al mustatir, right? So what can be the possibility if a word is beginning with ta? Either hiya, right, very well done, she, or you. Okay, she or you masculine, right? You masculine cannot be feminine, my dear sisters. If it was feminine, it would have been tunziri, right? Right? Because it has to end with ya in case of you feminine. It ends with yaul mukhatiba in case of majzoom status. So but it is not. We have here, we have, no, I'm talking about singular. So noon, no, we are talking about anti would have ya ending, right? Yaul mukhatiba as a ending. If it was majzoom, the noon will get dropped and it will be tun ziri, right? Ya will be there, but this one is tunzir, so it can be either hiya or anta. Okay, keep that in mind. Is it clear to everyone or no? So the sukoon is there, so it is anta, and because of the context it is anta, it cannot be hiya. La yu'minuna. How will you translate it? Indeed, those who they disbelieved, it is same upon them. It is all the same for them, whether you warn them or you do not warn them. How will you translate? Yeah, la yu'minuna. Translate that for me. Yu'minuna, amana, to believe. They will not believe. They will not believe. Hmm? Everyone with me so far? Okay. Okay, very well done. Thank you so much. Okay, now, is it clear? Thank you so much, Mrs. Sabra. Really appreciate. Jazakallah khair. Okay, now look at this one. Can you see this one? There was a question about this hamza. One is the part of the word structure, like anzala has an hamza in the beginning. One is the part of the word structure. This one is a part of word structure. The second one, the one before it, is a hamza of question. Hamzatul istifham. Okay? Is it clear? It is for question whether you want them or you do not want them. They will not believe. Clear? Okay. What do you think about khatama? We have 1 minute and we should do something here. Hua. So what should I look for? After amadi, hua, or hiya, what should I look for after it? An outside doer. Do I find one? Lafzul jalala. Lafzul jalala. Marfu tazim. Okay. So let me see here. Yakulu. Mudare, because of sign of mudare being here, ya, before the first root letter, and it says huwa. What is the status of mudare? Huwa, very well. Mudare huwa, but what's the status? Yes, it is marfu bidammatu zahira, right? You can see the damma zahira. It is zahir. It is clearly visible. Everyone can see it. Why is this? Why will I call this marfu? Why will I call this mudare marfu or rafin status? Yash'uruna. Bisabutin noon. Bisabutin noon. Because noon is intact, is present there, is going to be mudare marfu. What do you think about status of this one? I know I'm 1 minute above my time. I'm sorry. I have to just finish this. Think about this one. La tufsidu. Hasfun noon. Very well done. What is then this la? What will be the name of this la? If this is hasfun noon and this is then, if hasfun noon is there, then this is going to be majzoom. If la is before it, so la is going to be called lam. La, it is la nahiya, not nafiya. It is la nahiya. Do not cause corruption. Do not. And then you will put an exclamation mark. If it was la tufsiduna, then it will be la nafiya. Okay? Because la nafiya does not act on its fail. It is gair amila. La nahiya is amila, and it does make mudare majzoom. Inshallah, we'll continue to practice in our next session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care, everyone.